This is my original Radio Shack HTX-202. It's been really reliable. I've enjoyed it to death. I've used it for years and years and years. It was a mobile in my car for years. And I use it here in the RV because it's such a low current draw. When it's receiving, you know, it's under 100 milliamps. I can leave it on all day and not really hit my batteries very hard. And with the Slim Jim, half a watt out of this gets me around to most of the people I need to talk to. I can go to 5 watts when I need to. It's been an ideal low-power 2-meter radio. But I have a problem. I've got it hooked into a dummy load, and up there I've got the ICOM 705 on the same frequency to monitor. And you can listen, and you'll hear the problem. Well, let me try to get the mic so it's not picking things up. You know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to record audio on the 705 so you can hear this without the speaker causing feedback. So let me do that. You hear that? You hear that crackly noise? Oh, there, it stopped. Sometimes it's a lot worse, but that sound, that's my problem. It's worse on high power. On low power, it doesn't happen that often, but when it does happen, it annoys the people I'm talking to. I think it's dirty grounds. As I said, this is quite old. Hopefully it's just dirty grounds. I'm going to open it up. Okay. You'll notice this. I've got this little strain relief zip tie arrangement here for the mic connector. I'm going to leave that on the case while I work on it. I just don't want to fiddle with it. So, getting this guy apart, the main case has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny screws. And I've got my little clip that I clip it up on the edge of my shelf with as well. So we'll take that off. So we'll take these 4 case screws out and we'll take a look inside this little beast. It's 1980s, 90s, I think. Custom manufactured in Korea for Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Corporation, Fort Worth, Texas. FCC ID number, model number 19-1120. Okay, so those 4 on the outside edge were all the same length. I think this one is shorter. Yeah. Much. Gravity. Yeah. Tiny little bitty one there in the middle. And the back just comes off. Pot metal. Oh, there's a stamp. 1993. 3rd month of 1993 is the manufacturer stamp right there. So there you go. Alrighty. There's my solder points for the BNC connector. And they look absolutely fine. No stress cracks. Which the BNC is mounted to this top plate. What I suspect is going to be the problem is this high-low power switch here. I noticed when I was testing it that I could just touch that a little bit and I could make the noise come and go. So I think the contacts are just dirty on that high-low power switch. I think I got to take this, yeah, I got to take this bottom battery plate off because that's screwed into the assembly, and that's got 4 countersunk screws. The battery pack for this went bad long ago. Yeah, those are threaded. And I hadn't used it as a handheld radio for decades, so I just run it off external 12 volts all the time. If I remember right from taking this apart a few years back, this is a fiddly piece getting this plate back on here. We're getting the whole assembly down into the case again right. I had one of these apart many years ago too. I had one of them that was donated to me to be used for an Echolink simplex node. Yeah, that's just a metal plate and the little release mechanism for the battery. So we'll put that over here in my container. Now, yeah. Ooh, little plastic battery release clip slides in there. Yeah, you got to sort of ease that spring-loaded battery contact past this, and then the whole thing will start to lift out. Now, you got to be really careful. There's a ribbon cable that connects the front panel, and that is not on a connector. That is soldered to the boards, so be careful not to put any stress on that. And there is the battery that apparently goes bad on these, and they can lose all their memory, and surprisingly this one is still good. I wonder if I can, no, that's got a coating over it. There's no way I can get a meter on there to test the voltage. But it's still good, so I think I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I mean, if I can't solve this high-low power problem, noise, then I don't know, the radio's just going to be an emergency radio. There's the final. I'm pretty sure that's the final. Yeah, R9545. It's an SRF H1900. So SRF, yeah, it's going to be a power MOSFET. I'm pretty sure that Uniden made this for Radio Shack. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So, my focus, I think, is going to be this high-low power switch. And I can see where, there's the PC board in there. So it's a slide contact type of switch where they've got these metal fingers and then these slide fingers that slide over them like that and make contact. And those build up dirt in there. I suspect that's my problem. So I'm going to go get some contact cleaner and see if I can spritz it down in there and work that switch a bunch. So there's the finals. Yeah, those are fine too. Ooh. I see a bad solder point. And it's something to do with the final. I'm going to have to reflow that. Right here, right next to one of the finals pins, there is a solder connection that has a bad point. I'll get my cell phone camera out and see if I can take a close-up shot of that to show it to you. That could be my problem too. That's definitely a bad solder. It's got a solid seam around the pin. So that could be my problem right there. Okay, I think that's it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the switch with a contact cleaner. I'm going to reflow that solder connection. Yeah, everything else looks good in there. So, yeah, all right. Let me get my contact cleaner out, spray that switch, and I'll see if I can get you a picture of this little solder connection here before and after I touch it up. And then we'll put it back together and we'll see if either of those was my issue. Okay, I've finished soldering. I'm sorry I didn't film it, but I really had to concentrate. And I had my third hand holding my magnifying lens over it so I could see what I was doing. But that solder connection is good now. And if that was our problem, that's going to be fixed. But now I need to fix this, or clean this switch. So I've got some CRC electronic cleaner. I've used this stuff. It's cheap. You can get it at most hardware stores. They make it for automotive connectors and sockets, but it works fine for potentiometers and stuff as well. The trick is getting it in there. And I can kind of get a gap here, so I guess if I just kind of hose it. This stuff evaporates really fast, so it's not going to hurt anything. In fact, just a second. I'm recording without my mic. I might have to use the camera audio for that part. Paper plate. I don't want to stain up my desk here in case any runs out. There we go. All right, let me get the mic on. So now you should have better audio. Okay, so I'm just going to spritz some of this contact cleaner into that switch and then exercise it a bunch. And what's happening is the contact cleaner and the wipers are wiping over those contact points, and it should be shining them right up. Okay, and we'll do it one more time just to be thorough. Stinky stuff. Hopefully I got some in there. Okay, that should clean that switch. Now the other controls and encoders are sealed, and that's an encoder. Those are pots, and they are sealed. They're all completely enclosed, so I can't get in there to clean those. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to put her back together, and we'll see if that little solder connection or the switch, one of the two, was my problem. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, I know what that was. There was a little rubber cap that fell out, and that goes on the crystal top. And I think that that's just there to be insulation, so the top of the battery doesn't short out against it. Yeah, this thing is fiddly to get back together. There we go. Oh, okay, it just drops in there. So after you get this button back through the hole there, this just sort of drops. See, the assembly just kind of drops in there until this lines up at the top. And then we can put that bottom plate back on. And I guess I don't really need to put the battery switch back in there, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just in case someday, for whatever reason, I end up getting a battery for this thing. So that plate just sits in there. And then we can put this over the top. And there's a little notch on this end of it that catch for the battery fits through. So we'll line that notch up, drop this on there, and the screw holes, yes, they all line up. And all I need to do is just put the screws back in. So I'll kind of hold that in place with my finger, get a screw, put it in, and we'll get the screws started. Yep, right into the threads. Now I'm not tightening it down. I'm just getting it in there to where it just stays in place. It's just a little, not snug. It's screwed in all the way, but it's not snug. It's not tight. It's not applying any pressure yet. And I'm doing that so that I can get the other 3 screws in.
KM6 M&S.
Yeah, local 2-meter chatter. That's Joe. He's one of the rat packer hams that are out here in the desert with us.
KM6.
We'll just turn that down. No need to listen to them chattering. So I'll get all 4 screws in there and just screwed in all the way, but not even snug yet. They're just in, just so everything lines up when I tighten them down. I've seen some people will put the first of 3 or 4 screws in and tighten it down, and then something will be askew. So I always put all the screws in, just get them in, make sure everything's nice and straight and lined up the way it should be, and then I'll tighten them up. And don't do them too tight, just good and snug. You don't want to over tighten. If you over tighten, then you put extra wear on the threads and the side that they go into. And if you've got something you take apart more than a few times, you'll really start to weaken those screws. Threaded screws into inserts isn't so bad, but screws that bite into plastic or other material can be a problem. This is that center screw from the back panel, and you can see this is the place where it connects to, and that's actually a ground point. Now I've cleaned that previously, so it's nice and shiny. So I know I'm getting a good ground there, so I'm not going to bother with that this time. But in this old equipment, any place where the case meets up against PC board, shiny PC board section like that, is a ground point where the case is being grounded to the board. You want to make sure those are clean. And this one, you can see it's shiny. I've already cleaned it. So we'll just put this all back on the right way. There we go. Yep, all lined up, I think. Am I missing something on the front? Yeah, it's not quite going in there right. Oh, okay, that's what I remember. Okay, I remember I said something about this back plate was fiddly. I'm going to loosen these screws a little bit, because what actually happens here is this bottom flange needs to have a little bit of wiggle in it, because it sits solidly against this bottom edge of that. And if you can't wiggle that a little, if it just can't move a little bit, it just doesn't quite want to line up top. There we go. Yep, there it is. I think we're in. Okay, let's find out. If that screw lines up, we'll be okay. Where's that little screw? Yeah, it seemed like it dropped in far enough. Yep. Okay, so we'll tighten that one in, and then I'll put these other 4 in, and then I'll tighten up these plate screws, and that will snug that PC board edge against the bottom and give us a good ground contact. So yeah, you want to do that in that order. All right, we're back up. I got the dummy load connected there. I've got the 705 sitting over here on the same frequency. I'm on 146.46 simplex. I'm not on 5.2. Don't do your testing on the calling frequency. That's the one everybody monitors, and nobody wants to hear ka-chunk, 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 or oh, test, test, you know. We have that now and then, and everybody monitors 5.2, so they all have to hear it. Sorry for the camera audio. I figured it would be the best way to pick up the 705's audio over here, so I'm going to key her up. We're on low power. Here we go. Let me do this. What I did before, I'll record the audio. Record, start, and this will be the audio directly off the radio. So as you could hear, it's nice and quiet now. No more noise. Yay! Yeah, I think we're good. All right, well, I think I got a few more years out of this thing, maybe. We'll see. It's still going. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.